What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. What an NFL weekend overall. Obviously, my Indianapolis Colts lost, just like I was telling you what's going to happen. I mean, I saw it since week one, all the way leading up to playing the Bills in the playoffs. And I even said over and over again, I think the Indianapolis Colts should have tanked. They should have listened to me. But hey, it is what it is. They're out of the playoffs. They really played great this game, though, against the Bills. I mean, there were times where Indianapolis Colts was controlling the game, and really the game loss was at the end of the first half. Okay, we had the ball first and goal, and we got 0 points out of that drive. And then Buffalo comes down and scores, gets the ball at half, and then scores again. I mean, we just shot each other in the foot. I mean, the Colts did what we were not supposed to do, right? Especially to end the half. It's like at least put up 3 points, and there was a couple coaching decisions where I didn't agree with. Where yes, I thought we should have kicked the field goal instead of go for it on fourth down. Look, I like the opportunities that we took. Phillip Rivers, a good season, really. 309 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bills in the playoffs, which was pretty good. Ty was kind of quiet. Jonathan Taylor, he had 78 yards and 1 touchdown, over 20 carries. To me, the Colts, they played great, but they didn't get the job done. And it really boiled down to, like I said, at the end of the first half when they were first and goal, and yet they got 0 points out of that. Going forward on fourth and goal, did not convert, was really sad. Josh Allen, like I said, was a difference maker. Over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 11 carries on 54 yards and a rushing touchdown. I'm telling you what, the Bills are dangerous. Obviously, the Bills are playing the Ravens. That's going to be a heck of a matchup this weekend. But overall, looking at the Indianapolis Colts, where do they go from now? And I think, really starts at the quarterback position. Who are you guys going to have as a quarterback? For the Indianapolis Colts, let's be honest here. Is Phillip Rivers the guy? Probably not. Let's be honest here. Let's just be straight up honest. I don't think Phillip Rivers is the guy to really get you to that next level. Yes, he's had a good career. Now he's 5-7 in the playoffs. Not too shabby of a playoff record. But, looking at the Indianapolis Colts, I think they need to get a little better on defense. Their defense was improved this year, no doubt about it. But add some defensive players and also add a quarterback. I want to see a young quarterback come into the Indianapolis Colts system and learn that system. Okay, I'm not expecting to get the next Peyton Manning, but I want somebody to be a superstar. I want somebody to be a stud who's going to get picked by the Indianapolis Colts. I expect Jim Irsay and those people, the higher-ups, to make some moves here. Because recently, in the past decade, from 2010 to 2020, really it was bad drafts. I mean, really bad drafts. To me, it was question marks. But overall, the Colts, they have to go out a quarterback eventually. And for the Bills, like I said, they move on. They move on and they play the Ravens, and I cannot wait to see that. Congrats to Josh Allen. Like I said, one of the most improved players in NFL today. Shout out to the Bills. Then we got the Rams versus Seattle. I told you guys to go Rams. For a minute, I was like, man, Seattle, their defense is their weakness, their secondary, and it really showed this game. Jared Goff didn't have the great game. I mean, he had a touchdown and 155 yards, that's it. But really showed up was the Rams defense. And I'm telling you what, right now, defense wins championships, and the Rams have one of the best defenses in the NFL today. So to me, it's like the Rams can really run deep. The Rams, they go into Green Bay this weekend, and we know that they can beat Green Bay. No doubt about it. I mean, how do you beat Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Drew Brees, all the greats? You put pressure on them. You put pressure on them, force them to make a mistake. Obviously, they don't make a lot of mistakes. Russell Wilson had a pretty decent game. He had 2 touchdowns and a pick. DK Metcalf, he was kind of quiet. He had 96 yards on 5 receptions, but he also had 2 touchdowns, so I wouldn't even call that quiet. It's just like, I feel like DK, he needs to be targeted more than 5 times in a playoff game. Imagine if he was targeted 10 times, I think he would have had a couple extra touchdowns, right? But to me, Seattle, like I said, their weakness was their secondary. And I think Seattle and Pete Carroll, they need to add some defensive players, get their defense back to the championship level defense when they had Richard Sherman and those guys. Okay? But to me, Seattle, Russell Wilson's fine. He's a superstar, no doubt about it. Maybe adds a couple more extra pieces, another running back or two somewhere for Seattle during this offseason. But for the Rams, Jared Goff, he's 3-2 now as a starter in the playoffs. To me, this is great. And I think, going into Green Bay, it's going to be a big test. But I tell you what, the Rams, the difference between the Rams and a lot of teams is, like I said, their front seven and their secondary with Ramsey. I'm telling you what, the Rams are a scary team. And when they play right and they click, they can beat anybody in the NFL. But it's like some games we saw in the regular season with the Rams, it's like, they go through these little stretches where it's like, they play to level of their competition. They're playing a 5-8 team. Well, they're going to play to that level. To me, I want to see the Rams play at the A+ level that we know that they're playing. And I'm telling you what, put pressure on the quarterback. I cannot wait till the Rams play Green Bay. It's going to be an epic matchup. Congrats to the Rams, baby. Let's go. Then we got the Bucs versus the Washington team. I had the Bucs. This was my lock pick. Obviously, this wasn't a bad pick. Alex Smith was inactive as well, so they had like a third-string quarterback come in. But look, dude, Tom Brady, I'm telling you what, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. 6-time Super Bowl champion for a reason. He's going on his 7th this year. Crazy. In 2021, the Super Bowl is played in Tampa Bay, so you don't think they know that? 100% they do. Tom Brady this game, 381 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, he had 6 receptions on 119 yards. And they got Antonio Brown. And they got Gronkowski. I mean, they just have it all right now. I'm telling you what, Tampa is very scary. They go into New Orleans next week, and this game's going to be an epic matchup. The last team to beat a team in 3 times in 1 year was the Dallas Cowboys. And I believe they beat the New York Giants 3 times in a year. I forget. I believe that maybe was in 2009 or 2014. One of the two. But, teams have done it before. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, but it's possible. No doubt about it. Like I said, the Cowboys were the last team. But I'm rooting for the Saints, no doubt about it. But like I said, the Bucs, I would like to see their secondary get a little better because we know Drew Brees and company, they're going to throw the ball. And they're also going to run with Kamara. So I want to see what the Bucs defense is about. I understand. The Bucs have a great offense. They got Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. Leonard Fournette. They got a big time offense. But all I'm saying is you have to have a good defense to run deep in the playoffs. You have to. And I can't wait. The Washington team won a season. Obviously, they were below 500, but they won their division because their division was so trash. It was that trash, bro. For real. It really was. But shout out to the Bucs and Tom Brady. They move on. They're playing Drew Brees and the Saints. I cannot wait. And speaking of the Saints, shout out to the Saints. They beat the Bears. Trubisky, he was kind of quiet. Less than 200 yards passing. Drew Brees, 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kamara, he had 23 carries on 99 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, Drew Brees and the Saints, they are ready this year. And I think we have to understand, Drew Brees, same thing with Tom Brady. These guys are on their they're towards the end of their careers. They have 1 or 2 years left. I believe that, no doubt. But I just think for Drew Brees' sake, I want to see New Orleans win it. I want to see Drew Brees retire with 2 rings, not just 1 ring. Okay, for all the years he's played in the NFL. So I want to see the Saints run deep. They got Taysom Hill. They got a lot of X factors. They got Michael Thomas back. So to me, I love where the Saints are at right now. Obviously a big win versus the Bears. They started off slow. I would like to see Sean Payton when they open up against Tampa Bay next week. I want to see them aggressive. If it's 4th and 4, I want to see them go for it. Make a statement. For real, make a statement. If I'm the New Orleans Saints, I'm making a statement. This is a statement game. This is life or death in the NFL right now. Championship or bust for the Saints. Same thing with Tom Brady in Tampa. We know that. So to me, I cannot wait. Shout out to the Saints. They covered. Big win. 47 was the over-under. It was the under. Shout out to the Saints. Then we got the Ravens versus the Titans. The only 2 games I got wrong were the last 2 games, which was really disappointing because I kind of wanted to go to the Browns. I really did, just the way Pittsburgh was playing. But shout out to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson versus the Tennessee Titans. First quarter started off sluggish, threw a pick. Tennessee went up 10-0 early, and it really thought history was going to repeat itself, right? It was like, man, no, I want Lamar to win. Lamar took the game over. It was 3rd and long before the first quarter ended. He threw a dime pass to his tight end on the right side, completed, and then ever since then, Lamar took over. He took over the game. He had 16 carries on 136 yards and a touchdown. We saw the crazy run. He scored a touchdown. I love Lamar. He single-handedly took over this game. And I want to give a shout-out to the Ravens defense as well. They stopped Derrick Henry, the best running back in the NFL, one of the best ever. Derrick Henry had 18 carries on only 40 yards, and it really started with the Ravens front 7. They said, no, we're going to take away the run. We're going to make Ryan Tannehill, out of all people, beat us. And that's not going to happen. We have to understand, Ryan Tannehill's a subpar average quarterback in the NFL. Okay, imagine if Russell Wilson was on the Tennessee Titans. Like for real, that would be a game changer, right? But I think overall the Ravens, it started with Lamar, and like I said, however good Lamar plays is really how far the Ravens are gonna go. And Lamar even said, "Look, dude, I threw that interception that's still bugging me. It was a dumb play by him. He understands that." And as he keeps going deeper and deeper into the playoffs, Lamar understands that he can't make a mistake. If he matches up against Kansas City in the championship game before the Super Bowl, he can't be throwing these mental mistakes. He's not. And I think that's the difference between Lamar from right now to last year. He understands some of the silly decisions he's made. No doubt about it. But I love Lamar because he wants to take over the game. He's talented. He's special. I'm telling you what, right now, Lamar Jackson, similar to like Michael Vick, right? These guys, these are once-in-a-lifetime talents that we're never going to see again. We're never, for real. In our generation, we weren't going to see these type of quarterbacks like Mike Vick and Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar Jackson because he didn't win state in high school. He didn't win a national championship in college. And he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet in the NFL. But I think the icing on the cake would for Lamar to win a Super Bowl, right? To win a Super Bowl, that'd be great. Because like I said, high school and college never won anything. So to me, I want to see Lamar take off. This was his first playoff victory. I love it. Because a lot of the naysayers were like, oh, Lamar's winless in the playoffs. He can't win the big game. Well, he did. He did that, and now the Ravens are looking nice right now. They're playing the Buffalo Bills next week, and I tell you what, they can beat the Buffalo Bills. They can, and I think the Buffalo Bills' weakness is their defense. And so, to me, how are you guys going to stop Lamar Jackson? That's the big question mark for the Bills, but I'm telling you what, right now, the Ravens are dangerous, and I'm telling you, the Ravens, their biggest threat, obviously, is Kansas City Chiefs. Vice versa. Kansas City Chiefs' biggest threat is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. No doubt. Because Lamar can really upset the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and company. Mahomes in Kansas City, they know that. I'm telling you what, Lamar is the X factor overall in the playoffs right now. He's the X factor. Congrats to the Ravens. They got the win. 3 was the over. They covered the 3-point spread. 54.5 was the over-under. It was the under. But shout out to the Ravens. They got it done, baby. Let's go, Ravens. Then we got the Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, I honestly, my gut instantly was like, man, go Browns. But the Browns haven't beat the Steelers in so long. It's been crazy in the playoffs. To me, the playoff drought's over since 2002. The Browns have made it. But the difference maker was Baker Mayfield and company and Landry and company. I'm telling you what, Baker, 263 yards and 3 touchdowns. Landry, 92 yards and a touchdown on 5 receptions. And I'm telling you what, Pittsburgh Steelers, they need to release Big Ben. Big Ben needs to retire. Set off to the sunset. Your career is over. That's it, dude. 4 touchdowns and 4 picks against the Browns in a playoff game. 4 interceptions, let alone, dude. 4 interceptions. It makes sense why you guys lost, and it really boiled down to Big Ben. Juju, what a game. 13 receptions on 157 yards and a touchdown, but it wasn't enough. Like I said, the Browns, congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. And I even said at the beginning of week 1, if the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs, they need to sign Baker to a long-term contract. I want to see it happen during this offseason, win or lose this weekend for the Browns. Obviously, they go into Kansas City, a big-time game. Obviously, they're big underdogs. But I'm telling you what, if they keep Mahomes off the field and keep Baker playing the way he's been playing, they can make this a game. I just want to see a game. I don't want to see a blowout. I just want to see, the Cleveland Browns be in the game. That'd be great, right? But the whole Cleveland Browns organization, they got to be happy right now. They had to be happy with Baker Mayfield. So many comparisons coming in when Baker first came into Cleveland, like, oh, he's a sober Johnny Manziel. It made sense, right? Imagine Johnny Manziel just being sober, never partying. Who knows? Might still be the Cleveland Browns quarterback. But, you got Baker, hard worker, doesn't party. He focuses on his craft, and I like that. I like that about Baker. He just never gave up. He was a walk-on at Oklahoma. He's had to work hard for everything. So to me, this is well-deserved for Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. I love it. I loved it, dude. Really. And we have to understand Pittsburgh came in as 6-point favorites, which was crazy to me, right? But I think, Cleveland Browns, they have to cherish this moment right now. since 2002. So cherish this all the way. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. I love it. They need to sign him to a long-term contract. Congrats to them. But overall, like I said since day one, this is my third straight year in a row that I'm picking the New Orleans Saints to win it. Yes, they got a big test against the Bucks. No doubt about it. But I think the way Drew Brees and company's been playing right now, I'm telling you what, the Saints are a dangerous team. I want to see Sean Payton coach more aggressively, though. That's not a Super Bowl championship team the way he coached against the Bears last week. It's not. Not going forward on 4th and 4 and putting it inside the 50. Come on. This is playoff football. We had to win Super Bowls here, and they've done it before in 2009. But I think overall, what a weekend, baby. NFL playoffs is here, baby. Let's go. It's the Clown with Cap Show.